Yo, what's going on, guys? So it's Sunday night and I figured I'd make a video because I got some time on my hands. I just finished practicing, so yeah, let's get into it. DJing in clubs and DJing for events, there might come a time where you come across an event with a performer, and most of the time, especially if it's a new up and coming performer, they're not gonna have a DJ, so you're stuck there. Since you're DJing that night, you're stuck there having to DJ for them. And most likely they're gonna come up with a CD, but hopefully they come up with a USB and they basically give you instructions on what songs and this and this and that. Now, if you've been in the game for quite a while, I'm pretty sure you have met many performers, rappers, singers, whatever it may be, and you might find some of them to be annoying and some of them to be very unprepared. As a performer or artist or whatever, a lot of people underestimate how they should approach a DJ, especially when it comes to performing and stuff like that. A lot of them kind of come off, or some of them for the most part, come off kind of like a dick and unprepared, because I mean it's probably their come up unprepared because it's probably their first time actually performing as well. Now I've done many shows, whether it was mostly hip hop shows, and of course open mics for those of you guys who have been following me for a while. And dealing with performers is not an issue really. Sometimes it can be, but for the most part though, you're kind of just DJing in the blind, unless you really know their music, but most likely you might not, especially if it's a new person that you just met. So they're gonna hand you something with their music on it, and some guys already though, some performers in general already have a mix because they don't have their own DJ. So they'll have a mix of their performance set with all the breaks that needed. So literally it's just one track that you load into your Serato or track your virtual DJ and you play and they perform. That's it. Now, if you're running everything off of your setup and you're running the mics, there goes another issue, because you have to kind of learn how to level the performer and the music. If you're behind the speakers, it's going to be very hard for you to actually know what's going on. What I usually do is, if I don't have monitors for me, I put my headphones on master, and if the mic is running through my mixer, then that's the best way to go for you to actually monitor how the mic is going, because being from behind the speakers, you can hear them kind of low and you might hear like the music overpowering them, so you feel like I need to turn the mic up, I need to turn the mic up, I need to turn the mic up, and then you're gonna run into feedback issues or distortion issues or whatnot. So try to get a monitor, try to use your headphones, do as what you may. Now, some of you guys might be looking for an artist to work with. You're like, yo, you know what, I'd really like to be somebody's DJ. I'd really like to be a part of a show. I'm at that part in my career where currently, or just recently, I linked up with an artist here out of Fresno. I'll start talking about him in a bit. But I'm in that point in my career where, I've done mostly every single venue in town. I've done some pretty big shows here. I've done some pretty dope big shows with the group that I'm in, the dance group that I'm in. Not like we're popping and locking, like now we play like EDM, we don't do this shit though. But so I've done some pretty big shows with them, and I've definitely made some accomplishments. I've been on the radio. My mixes have been featured on a couple like late night radio shows over here. So I mean, my resume as far as in town is pretty solid for the most part. I can go to another DJ who's in the game, who is known, and they know me, and we have a friendship and all that. So I'm at that point in my career, especially in town, that I can kind of pick and choose what I want to do. Having a residency right now is not my main thing. I've kind of started drifting off into different types of music, and really just focusing on more funky stuff and more live show type of stuff, if that makes any type of sense. I want to be a part of a show, I'm kind of past that point where I'm just spinning to make people dance. Of course, there's nothing wrong with that, but right now, how I feel personally, I mean, I'm 24, gonna be 25. I've been in the clubs for like 4 or 5 years already. I'm kind of past that point where I just want to make you dance. Now I'm at that point where I want to show you something. And, I've gotten reached out by a couple artists before. Excuse my phone for going off. Yeah, I've got reached out. Some artists have reached out to me before. And, I was down or whatever, but it just never really blossomed into anything, and it was just whatever. But I wasn't like super excited either, to be honest. Like I wasn't really like, yeah, like I'm really eager to work with this artist. For the most part, I was trying to find, pick and choose certain artists that I really wanted to work with. And by the time I got to them, they had already had, a pretty solid DJ behind them. Which, hey, it is what it is. To each his their own. What the fuck was that noise? Somebody dropping bombs out here. Well, anyways, so recently, as of I think like 2-3 weeks, yeah, like 2 weeks only, I started working with this guy. It's a long ass name, and you guys might be thrown off because of the type of music that you guys see on my mixes. You guys really don't. When you guys hear this guy's music, some of you guys might get why I'm into it. Some of you guys might not. Some of you guys may be turned off, but to each is their own, and it's pretty dope in my opinion. He goes by the name of Cockamamie Jamie. He's a rapper, straight up storyteller, has dope flows and dope music, and very theatrical. How we got in contact is kind of like just through mutual friends, and it just happened. Our first show, like we literally had met each other in person like that day. He had sent me like his set list like the day before, and he instilled full trust in me to do whatever I wanted during his set. Scratches, juggles, whatever it may be, he was down. So if you guys ever come across an artist, sometimes they might be like, hey man, don't be scratching over the top, it's kind of taking away from my vocal, stuff like that, shit like that. Do this, it's all about them. So it was very refreshing to meet somebody that was really open to me being as much a part of the act as he was. Of course, he's the main guy. I'm the guy adding the spice on top of his tracks. But I mean, at least he's the one saying, hey man, shout out to my DJ for holding me down. He's giving me props. Now when you come across artists like that, those are ones that you kind of want to keep in touch with and definitely work with, especially if you really dig their music and the direction that they're going. Because I mean, you don't feel like you're up there just to be up there, you know what I'm saying? You don't feel like you're just in the background, you actually feel a part of the show. So that's what I really dug about our very first show. We just had our second show this past Friday, and it was another dope show or whatever. And I really feel like right now I'm a part of a show. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and link his latest music video down in the description. You guys should check it out. It's called Orca. For all you hip-hop fans, it's not like club rap. But I will tell you right now, it's a very storytelling type of rap. It's very visual. I'm going to give you that. It's very visual. Some of you guys might think it's like a little far left, but keep in mind, it's a show. You know what I'm saying? That's what I thought was, that's what I really like about this type of rap and what I'm involved in now. Now, yeah, I'm just a DJ, and I definitely need to get some show footage for you guys. But for a fact, I mean, we're pretty hype. Off of our 2 performances, we're very hype and we work well together. So DJing for an artist, some pros and cons to it. For my experiences, cons, you might get stuck doing some music, like, DJing for artists that you just really could care less about. I mean, like, the music could be boring to you, it could just not be your thing, and you know what I'm saying? It is what it is. And you might get stuck doing it because you're the DJ for that band. Some pros to it, you might make some really good connections. And say there's an artist that comes into your town and you're DJing that night, whatever, and you're going to end up DJing for them. If you do a good job, and I mean, if you talk the right talk, you might be able to get in with them, and that's all good for you. Because I mean, if that's the route that you want to go, if you see that artist is going a certain route, you might want to get in with them. And I mean, it's always a good opportunity to do shows, to be a part of a show, to be with somebody, somebody's DJ and whatnot. It's a really good experience, and I recommend. Now, touring with an artist, me personally, I can't say I've ever toured with an artist. The only thing I can say is, like, I've done an artist, like the same artist, their show back to back, like at one venue and then another venue out of town, like the next day, but that was it. It wasn't a tour though. Like, I just, got booked by the promoter who was throwing both shows or whatever. So I can't tell you about how it is to tour with an artist, because me personally, I've never toured with an artist. I have a buddy though who actually went to South by Southwest and did that whole thing, and he said like the experience was amazing. So I definitely look forward to that one day if I ever have the opportunity to tour with an artist in general. So I think that'd be dope. Now, being a DJ for an artist, you're just adding that spice. You're just adding that extra element that a lot of artists don't offer. Now, if you notice nowadays, some, you know, rappers, whatever, they just feel like they don't need an artist. What am I talking about? They just feel like they don't need a DJ. But I mean, some really do respect that fact, or respect the fact of having a DJ, because it does, you know, add that element to their show. But you don't want to be scratching all over their vocals. You don't want your samples to be too loud. You don't want none of that. You don't want to make anything sound muddy, because at the end of the day, the show is not about you. Now, if your rapper, singer, whatever gives you some time to shine, then put everything you got into that 1 or 2 minute showcase that they give you, or if not longer, and do your thing. But at the end of the day, you're the guy in the back, and you're the guy just adding the spice. Yeah, you can get on the mic and hype them up and do all this and this and that, but you're a supporting act. You're not the main star. You're the sixth man. You know, you're the one that makes sure that everything goes well. Now, working with an artist as well, look out for your artist, man. Like I said, I've only done 2 shows with this guy, but first show off the bat, I was making sure all of his levels on his mic was good. I was taking care of his mic off the main mixer. I was making sure everything sounded right and everything was nice and crisp. And I kept monitoring it all night, or during our set at least, to make sure everything was good to go. Now, if there was a sound man that I needed to talk to help me out or whatever, I would, you know, of course do that, because you want your guys' set. It's your job to make your guys' set sound as good as possible. Yeah, in certain venues and certain shows, there's going to be a sound guy to do that, but if you feel like it's not there and you need it to sound a little bit different, you know, what's the worst that he could say is no. And if he says no for signal issues, you know, soundboard issues or amp issues, then it is what it is, and you kind of just gotta take it. You know, you gotta take the L. But at least open your mouth and let them know. Don't be a dick about it either. Don't be, hey man, what the fuck, man? It's too low. Don't be like that, man. Don't do that. You know what I mean? Just keep it. It is what it is. At the end of the day, a sound guy has their job. Is just trying to do their job too. I mean, technically, you're a sound guy in a way. So you should know how things work, and you should know how things are supposed to sound. You should know how to EQ things and stuff like that. So to sum this all up, I guess linking up with the artist, if you're going to be their actual DJ, know your role, stay in your lane, and be the supporting cast, and do what you got to do for your guys' set to sound good. At the end of the day, if you do a good job at making sure everything goes as planned, they're not going to look for anybody else. They're not going to look for anybody who has better skill than you or whatever, because they know they can rely on you for them to have a great sounding show. And at the end of the day, that's all that really matters, or at least for the dudes that really care about their stage act. But I hope you guys took something away from all this ranting and rambling or whatever it was on this random Sunday night. I don't know when you guys will see this, but when you guys are watching this, yeah, man, I appreciate you guys watching my videos. You know, they haven't been coming out as much as lately. I'm kind of in a transition period in my life, and I'll probably get into that more in another video, explaining that and whatnot. Oh, if you want to check out Cockamamie Jamie, I'll link down his latest music video and also his website. So if you guys want to cop a shirt, they're pretty dope. I mean, these are I think the shirt's pretty dope. So you guys want to cop a shirt, check out his music and whatnot. I'll link his website. I mean, support for sure. And I hope you guys enjoy it. So until the next one, hope you guys enjoyed this video. I'll see y'all later. Peace.
Andy Mac, motherfucker.